Good morning. Good morning. My name is Mo. I am the president of the fellowship this year. Come, whoever you are, holding various beliefs, whatever your skin color, whatever your age or gender identity, whatever your abilities, whomever you are. You are welcome at the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Statesboro. You are welcome in this, our religious home. I extend a warm welcome to our visitors and guests. If you would like, we invite you to take a moment now to introduce. It's truly the most awkward part of the service.
Hey, I'm originally Solomon's Futurkowski. I typically come on Martin Luther King Day weekend to work with the local NAACP. I also did a celebration of life here yesterday for Shannon Kilmer, who is a long-time Statesboro resident, and thank you everyone for having me. And I live in Chicago. Welcome. Thank you.
I'm glad you're with us. If you haven't already, we hope you will give us some contact information for our guest registry, which is near the front entrance, or you can talk to Martha if she hasn't already found you. Or on our webpage at ustatesboro.org so that we can send you more info about the land. For the month of January, half of our offering that is not designated as a pledge will be shared with our technology fund. Thank you for sharing your resources with us during our offering later in the service. Now I invite you to join with me in reciting our congregational affirmations. All right?
Love is the spirit of this fellowship, and service is its prayer. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I would like to do our chalice lighting now, and Bex has agreed to be our chalice lighter. If you will come up, Bex, and I will read some different chalice lighting words. These are written by Pat Urimeiki, adapted. Thank you, Bex. These words are called a reminder of what we share. The chalice is a symbol of our faith. Like our faith, it is not magic, nor is it mysterious. We light it as a reminder of what we share as a community and of who each of us is called to be. When we feel lost in a chaotic world, may the light of our chalice show us our path. When we are afraid of the times we live in, may the light of our chalice give us courage. When we despair at the injustice and cruelty around us, may the light of our chalice recall us to a faithful hope. Our chalice is a symbol of our commitment to each other, to ourselves, to our values, and to our world. We light it today as a gathered community that we may understand more completely, act more boldly, and hope more fiercely. Amen. Please rise in body or spirit for our chalice response. Rise up, O flame, 2 times.
Rise up, O flame, bright light glowing, shelter us through division and joy. Rise up, O flame, bright light glowing, shelter us through division and joy.
Yeah, we're going to fist bump.
I was sick last week. I'm so glad I didn't know I had it. But if I would have came last week, I'd have shared my dinner on Sunday.
Our story for all ages. That's right. You know the drill, my friends. That's right. In honor of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day tomorrow, our story wisdom is about a very important part of our American history, one that shows that where there is inequity and injustice, there are people who will work hard for equity and for justice. So the young have already come. If the young at heart would also like to come and be read to, please make your way down front. And Beth has agreed to be our story reader. Thank you, Beth.
Yay! Okay, I haven't done this in so long. It needs my soul. All right, you guys ready? So people traveled from all over the country to Washington, D.C.
That sounds like, is that the first one?
Maybe not. I didn't know it was going to be behind me, too. Here we go. Everybody has dreams. Some we share with family and friends. Some we hold in our hearts. On August 28, 1963, one man's dream was heard across the nation. When the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was a boy growing up in Georgia. Yeah, who else is growing up in Georgia? Yeah. He could not have imagined a day like this. People traveled from all over the country to Washington, D.C. They rode on buses and trains and airplanes and cars, and some people walked over 200 miles from Brooklyn, New York, and one man rolled 698 miles from Chicago on skates, on roller skates. It took him 10 days. Over 250,000 people gathered in the nation's capital. Singers, authors, actors, government officials, and other famous people attended. But ordinary citizens were the real stars of the March on Washington for jobs and freedom. People packed the National Mall, which is not like a shopping mall, it's like a big park. People packed the National Mall from the Washington Monument to the Lincoln Memorial. Young and old of every color, side by side, hand in hand. And many wore their Sunday best, and they carried signs, and they sang. I woke up this morning with my mind set on freedom. We shall overcome someday. Black people fought for many years for the right to be treated with respect. In the 1950s and 60s, Black Americans organized and fought extra hard, and their fight was called the Civil Rights Movement. Martin and others held peaceful protests against laws that kept Black people and white people apart. And they fought for the right to attend the same schools and eat in the same restaurants. They fought to use the same bathrooms and drink from the same water fountains. They fought to sit on any empty bus seat and to have the same chance at a job. They fought for the right to vote. The protesters won some battles, and new laws made things better, but Black people were still treated unfairly. In 1963, activists A. Philip Randolph and Bayard Rustin and other civil rights leaders decided to take the fight to the nation's center of power. Where's the center of power? Yeah, Washington, D.C., the capital. The march organizers wanted to show the president, who was John F. Kennedy, and Congress and all Americans how many people believed in this cause. The Declaration of Independence says all men are created equal. Now we could say all people are created equal. The marchers wanted Congress to make sure everyone was treated that way. United, they walked together, and some were silent, determined, intent, yet hopeful. Most chanted and sang, beaming, joyful, their hearts light. The marchers crowded, the malls reflecting cool. That's a big pond in the middle of the park there. Some took off their shoes and socks to soothe their feet in the cool water. Others climbed trees for a better view, and lucky children perched high on shoulders. They looked toward the statue of, that's right, Abraham Lincoln. It had been 100 years since President Lincoln had signed the Emancipation Proclamation, which helped free the slaves. Why were Black Americans not yet free? President Kennedy and other officials worried that the marchers might become violent. So thousands of police and soldiers were called out to keep order, but there was no need. The March on Washington was the largest human rights rally in American history, and there was no trouble. Martin had one of the strongest voices for civil rights. He had been jailed for standing up for Black people. His house was firebombed by people who wanted him to stop, but he did not scare easily. Martin was a minister. He had faith, and wow, could he preach. When Martin spoke, it was as if he could read the minds of people and feel what was in their hearts. Other leaders gave inspiring speeches at the march, but Martin's words on that hot August day made history. In his speech, Martin said, Black people were tired of waiting for their rights. He said, now is the time for justice. Now is the time for brotherhood. He said, no one is free until everyone is. And his friend, Mahalia Jackson, the gospel singer, called out, tell them about the dream, Martin. And he put aside his written words. I have a dream, Martin said, that little Black boys and Black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. Martin had a dream that his children would live in a country where they would not be judged by their skin color, but by the content of their character. Martin had a dream that when children sing, my country 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, that the words ring true for everyone. He spoke of faith and truth and love and hope. Finally, Martin said, his voice like thunder, let freedom ring from every hill and every mountainside, from every state and every city. Let freedom ring. And if we do, people of all colors and all faiths will join hands and sing. Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty. You guys want to say that part? We are free at last. Marchers cheered, and some wept tears of pride and joy and hope, and they would never forget this day. Many who had been strangers before the march were forever bonded by that moment in time. People all over the country watched the march on television or listened on the radio, and they felt the spirit of the day too. They were reminded that all people are meant to be free. Martin's dream wasn't his alone. It was a dream millions of Americans shared. Now his dream lives forever in the hearts and minds of people everywhere, and the march for freedom goes on.
Circle hands. All right, thank you so much.
Are you ready to stand up? Okay. And everybody else stands up.
Oh, yeah, y'all want to go rise and body your spirit. Join in our children's affirmation.
Okay, are you ready? We
are Unitarian Universalists, people of open minds, loving hearts, and helping hands.
Thank you. And our children's processional, let's make that aisle, make that canopy as we sing our children to their classes.
We shelter you, you are our home, as you rest may God love you as you go, to help you learn and help you grow.
Thank you, Beth and Mo. And now is the time in our service when we invite you to make an offering of your treasure to support the work of this church, both within and beyond these walls. If you would like to donate online, please use the QR code on the screen. And if your treasure is scarce, but you would like to make an offering of your time or talents, please feel free to chat with a board member after service and or me. And board members, raise your hand. Yes, okay. And now, in an invitation to a moment of stillness, I invite you to settle into your body, into your chair, into your space. Invite ease, whatever that means for your body. Let your shoulders relax, let your breath flow in a way that is natural to your own rhythms and comfort. And I invite you to reflect in stillness on this quote by Cole Arthur Riley. Our resistance is not predicated on how likely it will be to alter the conscience of the oppressor. We resist to retain our own conscience and to awaken all others who are still in possession of their own souls. What a year this month has been. Every day the news is more dire, more tragic, more absurd, and more shocking than yesterday. Perhaps you find yourself bracing for the next onslaught of pain and abuse that is surely coming. Perhaps you hold your breath, steeling yourself for the next wave of the unbelievable made manifest. Does it feel like the world is squeezing harder every day? Are your shoulders slowly inching up towards your ears? Are your ribs tightening? Or perhaps your stomach or your back stiffens? At the worst of times, it may feel like the only way to make it through to the next day, the next hour, the next moment, is to hunker down, to brace for impact. Anxiety is an utterly natural response to this onslaught. It's a rational, justifiable reaction to systematic, unrelenting abuses of power. Ask any survivor. At its root, anxiety as a word stems from words meaning to distress or trouble, or to choke or restrict. And anxiety's tightness compresses and tightens what might otherwise be flexible, fluid, or responsive, whether that is a muscle or a joint or a train of thought. Bracing, steeling, tensing, these reactions harden the body, rendering us as stones. And as the saying goes, you cannot squeeze blood from a stone. Of course, that adage is about unpayable debts. But it has spiritual relevance in this era too, because if anxiety renders us stone-like, it also limits our ability and our capacity to embody our Unitarian Universalist value of generosity. Whether physical generosity or the intangible commitment to collective abundance, generosity as a spiritual stance recognizes the truth that abundance only exists where there is softness, where there is give and take, and a flow of resources within the system to where the system needs it most. Even the word give has a dual meaning of elasticity, of flexibility in response to pressure, of yielding. And yet giving in a time of high anxiety feels at best like a meaningless endeavor, at worst impossible to accomplish, like squeezing blood from a stone. How do we redeem the struggle? How do we reclaim agency and root in our values in the face of abuses intent on immobilizing us? In the face of power lust designed to force our retreat into stone-like defenses? For now, I invite you to engage in a little thought experiment. What happens if we flip our understanding of that saying? If we focus not on the squeezing part or on the blood part, but on the stone? What if the wisdom here is not don't try to squeeze a stone, but rather don't be a stone? Even the Hebrew scriptures recognize the unredeemability of the Pharaoh whose heart had been hardened by God. We are flesh and blood beings, made for movement and for flow in whatever capacity is available to us in our bodies and in our lives. We were made for the gorgeous rhythm of inhale, exhale, even if it hurts. The wise and prophetic Octavia Butler, may she rest in power, once wrote, "All that you touch, you change. All that you change changes you. The only lasting truth is change. God is change. Change is movement, is flow, is the capacity to yield, to give, to be flexible, and to respond. And change is what is needed, yes? Can I get an amen?
Amen.
And Unitarian Universalism is a living tradition, valuing the prophetic call of transformation. So how do we, as warm-bodied builders and seekers of beloved community, and believers in a saving and universal love, stay flexible and alert and responsive in an era designed to immobilize every person into submission? If you'll forgive the possibly macabre undertones, there is an exploratory question to ask as part of our thought experiment. What can one squeeze blood from? A heart. The heart is made for squeezing, for the giving forth of our life's blood. In fact, our brain signals our heart to squeeze dozens of times a minute, and blood goes out and out and out, and eventually returns. And here's my point. The heart is a muscle. It's soft, it's strong and flexible, but the reason all that blood going out, the blood going out part works, is because a heart is also designed to let blood in. It is a closed and interdependent system and cycle of flow. We talk about generosity in terms of giving, but receiving is also a part of that system. Systole, diastole, inhale, exhale, flex, release. A cycle of two things happening, each meaningless without the other. In fact, neither can exist without the other. Giving and receiving, beautifully and inextricably intertwined, beautifully, messily parts of a whole that relies on movement to exist and to endure. And enduring is how you outlast a cycle of rising fascism. Not enduring as a stone that may be isolated or eroded or chipped and broken, but as a living, breathing, feeling, grieving, raging, giving, receiving, being. To choose the vulnerability and the softness and strength of the heart in days like these to truly embrace the heart's capacity to be wounded or broken and yet to heal anyway, because it is a living and responding and connecting part of that system. This is an act of resistance. Like the power of nonviolent resistance, to embrace and embody love no matter what. To risk pain and brokenness and hurt because you choose to remain in possession of your own soul, as Cole Arthur Riley put it, is also to remain open to the gift of wholeness and the redeeming sacred value of beloved community. To be a being of conscience in a world when so many have lost theirs is to be a part of reclaiming the world. To firmly plant the seeds of love that will grow and flourish into the future no matter the brambles and the rocks and the soil quality. To bend like the willow is to survive the fiercest storms, lashing winds. To flex like a heart is to claim the right to grieve those whom we could not save. And to rise up again in service of those whom we still can. Because to put our faith in the power of giving is not the same as giving in, or giving out, or giving up. To recognize that our capacity to remain soft, to be yielding, does not mean that we are surrendering. To hold true to our capacity for warmth, connection, for compassion, is to hold true to our values, our humanity, and our capacity to respond, to feel, and to heal. There is no special formula. We know the way, and we can do hard things. Perhaps these closing words by Maria Popova from this week's Marginalian newsletter will reverberate for you as a mantra of remembrance for the powerful resilience of softness that is both our birthright and our challenge as humans being. Quote, "We are made of the same matter as the granite that will mark our graves, and share 98% of our DNA with the moss that will cover them. We share with them and with each other more than atoms. We share the wild luck of having drawn from the cosmic lottery this world of birdsong and waterfalls and lichen and spring, none of which had to exist, all of which could have been and can always be otherwise. To know this, to place the firm hand of the mind on this banister of reality, of its wild luck, its impermanence, and its improbability, is to steady yourself amid the daily shocks of living, to feel it, to press this same perishable hand against the beating heart of the universe that made it, is to tremble with its pulse in your veins. Blessed trembling, beloveds. Blessed bending. Blessed becoming. Amen. Mo is going to lead us in a singing reflection. The words are on the screen and Mo will play. Join in if you like. You may stay seated or you may move, whatever your body needs or wants.
Again.
joy or a concern that they have to come forward and share with the community, to light a candle. If you need help, please just let us know. A quick reminder that because we are streaming our service publicly to the internet, you may choose to be circumspect about how much or what you share. And if you need a sharing that is private, please reach out to me or Sherry and or Mike, who is not here today but is available by email and phone for pastoral care. If anyone wants to come forward?
Good morning. I'm Sherry, and I come with the joy and with the sorrow celebration. As Tanya mentioned, she is here and yesterday conducted a beautiful memorial service honoring the life of Shannon Freeman Kilburn. And so I just want to light another candle today in honoring Shannon's life and sending another light to all who loved her and moved forward. And my second candle, gotta find a brand new one because I'm celebrating the birth of my second great grandson yesterday. Toby and his mother Amber and his father John Paul are all well. I didn't get to hold him yesterday. I spent a little time in NICU, but I'm going there after the potluck. So you see pictures on Facebook. Me and the baby. Thank you.
Congratulations, Sherry.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Everybody, I'm Siren. I have a huge joy. Unfortunately, Mike is not here, but I owe him a huge debt of gratitude because as I've been settling into a new role at the Avery Center, I've been hiring some new folks and helping them get settled in and trained. I have one gal that is just wonderful. She's just a perfect fit. She's so sweet. She's so smart. She loves being there. But I found out on the second day that she was walking to work an hour. It's been very cold. And I was hoping that I would be able to find a bike for her because I know she can ride a bike, she's good at it. And she was hoping that her old roommate would mail her a key and then she would be able to go unlock this bike that they had left behind. And this might take forever if it ever happens at all. And Mike was able to barter with me for a bike in exchange for pizza for a movie night. So she now has a bike and she is making it to work a lot easier and she was just so happy and it felt awesome to be able to make that kind of an impact in my new employee's life. And Mike's just such a sweetie pie and we're all very lucky to have him. So huge joy there and thanks Mike if you're watching on the thing.
My name is Noelle. I want to second that candle for Shannon. Our family was pretty close with her. My oldest daughter, she was my oldest daughter's first employer. And just what a wonderful impact that Shannon has had on our community and on our family as well. And then another candle just for our family. This is kind of a joy and a concern, I guess. I don't know, I'm learning how to make the best of it. But as a truly single mom of 7, 5 and a half at home, trying to figure out how to make the next steps of everything work. So I appreciate all the good vibes and thoughts about it.
Anyone else have a joy or concern they would like to share with the group at this time?
If you light a candle for Renee Good and for all the victims of eye silence in the last 20 weeks.
I'm just lighting 2 candles for that. And I will light one more candle for those joys and concerns that we carry in the fullness of our hearts. Now please rise in body or spirit for our choral invocation to prayer, Spirit of Life. Announcements from the floor. I'm hearing chuckles, y'all know what that means.
So a couple of you have talked to about this a little bit, but it seems far away right now, but we are already taking at the Averett Center proposals for summer camps. So if you have like a funky little skill that you might want to pass along, and you'd be interested in either teaching 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the afternoon, or a full 6-hour day, which I'm not going to lie is tough if you've ever taught kids. It's a long day. I'm not going to lie, we're not going to make great money, but it's a lot of fun. And if you are interested, please meet with me after service, and I'll take your email, and I will send you all the everything we need from you, just basically a title, a description, and what hours you might want to be there, and we can work out the rest. But won't be happening until June and July, but we're already taking the proposals and hoping to have them all kind of settled by the end of February. So let me know if you're interested.
So 2 announcements. Dr. Martin Luther King, as of yesterday, the Bullock NAACP has not canceled the parade tomorrow. So I plan to be there in the big silver Toyota truck that has ridden in the parade many, many years. If you're able and willing, please find me in the lineup on West Olive Street behind the old Dairy Queen and the new Dairy Queen. I have to be there before 10, and then the parade kicks off at 11. So check Facebook or check email in the morning to see if they cancel it depending on the weather. But if not, we will have a presence and welcome you to come, make your own sign, or we'll have our rainbow flags and things to wave. A second local announcement, many of you I know are as environmentally conscious, at least as I am, and aware of the problem that data centers are causing across the country. The mayor and some of the council members, including me, are going to Atlanta to view some data centers because we have a request. Somebody's wanting to put one here in Statesboro. So stay tuned and make your voice heard before we come to vote on it, please. Thank you.
Sherry, quick question about that. Will there be an open commentary period?
I don't know yet. It's not on the agenda yet. We're just going to look at it, and I know we've had the request.
If there is, please let us know, because I know some of us would like to come and openly comment.
Katie didn't ask me to announce this, but I think I will anyway. There's a play at the Averett Center this Friday and Saturday, called Law and Order. Is that the name of it?
Law and Order Fairy Tale Unit.
Yes, yes. Which is evidently it's more a family kind of. But anyway, Katie and William both have roles in it, William is a cat. He said his only sound will be to hiss and to laugh. And Katie is going to be a cow. So I just want to, she left a poster out front. So if anybody wants to go and support them, it sounds like fun.
Anybody else?
Good luck today.
Yes.
Don't go anywhere, come eat food.
I thought that was yesterday, so.
Yeah, and thanks to Tanya's generosity, when she purchased food for the memorial service yesterday, she purchased extra. And so we have a tray of sandwiches. So even if you forgot to bring food, I think there'll be something to nibble on.
Yes, please stay. Perhaps this is your day for receiving the potluck and you'll get it next time. Rather you were here. All right. Please rise in body for our singing benediction, which you may recognize from certain famous civil rights movements. We are going to sing verses 1, 3, and 4 in your gray hymnal. Let's eat.
Oh, that's okay.